So the end result for me at the race wasn't a great one really. I punctured and I think I finished completely last, to be honest.
How many times we rode down there, dude, and then we both it.
You could hear the crowd like disappointed as they rode past. They're like, oh, who's that guy? Happy, where did you finish?
Sorry, G.
Oh, you crashed as well?
That's right.
What? Good weapon.
Bad luck, bud. What a
It's not the best race of our lives. I think the whole thing was more about the event, you know. It was more about going to the favela, taking an event to those people and then broadcasting it out to the rest of the world and showing the world that you can take mountain bike to a place like Rio. At one point we had to have like this police escort out of there. It was crazy, and there was just these big swarm of people following us. And it was an amazing experience for me, and I was stoked to be part of it.
Mate, we're in the little favela lift. We're off to this old boy who's in charge here. Apparently he's cooked up some rice and beans for us. Have for our tea. Pop in, say hello, won't we?
It's pretty surreal. Look at this, dude.
Mate, look at it. Never. I've said that a lot today, but I've never seen anything like this ever. It's pretty nuts to think we were like a bike track racing down through that.
dude, it's unreal. Like when you race World Cups and stuff, you know, you feel like every weekend is the same thing, like the same monotonous, like you just go, the same people, you just race the same people, and it doesn't feel like, you know, there's like all this shit going on in the world and you don't see it, but like here, it feels like the sport like makes a difference, and it feels like you actually do something, you know, with all these kids like so happy to have something going on in their lives, you know, and like they don't have to spend any money. It's just like an amazing thing for them, and it's such a rad thing for us to be involved in, you know. It's rad.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Twins, no.
Oh, twins.
Not quite. I got the looks.
It was just amazing to see how happy the kids were when you gave them like a signature, or you gave them just a picture on their mobile phone, you know. It made their day, and it made them so happy, and that's all they wanted.
You had yourself a little baby, Happy?
But you know, they were so happy, they were so stoked still, and all the little kids were just as happy, if not happier than any people I've seen anywhere in the world.
Just got a kid now, and I think my riding career is over.
High fives. They are kids. I have so many little kids, I just put my hand up like, bam, nuts, yeah. And if I don't get my nuts up in time, they're like, what are you doing, you idiot? Leave me hanging.
How the kids feel when they're living in that favela is that you do have to be on your guard at any moment. It makes them realise what's important in life, you know. It makes them come down to earth, and it keeps them grounded, you know. It was an amazing event to finish the season off, and it just put me up on a high, you know, for the winter, and then coming home, travelling home, I was just so stoked to be on my way home, and I knew that it was dry, I knew the dirt jumps would be dry and the quarry would be riding, and it was just a rad feeling to be coming home for the winter knowing that you had all this riding lined up. Langenog is a pretty unique place, you know.
Langenog is secluded, extremely secluded.
Bit of an out-of-the-way place, pretty calm place, pretty relaxed, not much going on here.
You know, some people might say it's quite old-fashioned. It's just 2 pubs and a church, which is all you need.
We pretty much moved to this area because solely for the riding, you know. Every time I get a bit of a block at home, I just appreciate, you know, what a cool place it is, and how much potential it's got as far as riding goes.
At the end of the day, if you're living in Langenog, you know, there isn't many distractions, and all there really is to do is ride, you know, and be outside and be in that kind of lifestyle. And
Ready, Rachel?
Ready.
Come on, some carnage. Okay, you have to be quick because I see you. They're all stood up there, yeah? Hold on. Oh, we're still in the house.
I just hold it.
Hey, Clay! Oh, he was over there. Damn. It's the first night session of the winter. pretty warm, the lights are on. Just had a rad day riding dirt jumps. I'm stoked to be home in Llangornog with a few months of not a big lot.
Everything fast-paced in a rat race, trying to find my place. We be spiritual people, 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 spiritual people. 1, 2, we're back at the clubs tonight at an open mic, gonna recite tonight. Alright, in a room full of open minds, open brains, people ashamed to say that we don't have no clue. And every form of
When we first got into this whole kind of riding scene, it was all about being competitive with G, you know. It was just about who could jump bigger jumps, you know, and who could rail a berm faster. And it seems to have always been that push there all the way through, and I'm still in the same mindset as I was then, you know.
I love being with Affy and, you know, persuading him to do stuff and persuading him to hit stuff. And, you know, telling him, yeah, we're fine, it's a safe jump when, you know, in the back of your mind it's a bit sketchy and he could nail himself here. But, you know, that's just the nature of our riding, I guess, just pushing each other on. And
We're going to the quarry, it's wink. I'm nervous, I'm bloody nervous. Just getting ready for a day's session in the quarry. Sun's out, the wind's calm. The booth will be down in a bit, doing some roll-ins. But I don't like talking to you up here. Right.
At the end of the day, it all went perfectly, it all went smoothly, and it felt so amazing to just come back here, sit around the fire, like the fire pit on the decking, and be around the same people that you'd spent the whole day putting all that work in and all that time and effort, and it was just amazing. It just felt like, yeah, G's my brother, Rachel's my sister, you know, and I'm like super 100% stoked on that situation, you know. I'm stoked to have G as a brother and Rachel as a sister, and I wouldn't want to change it for the world.